Welcome to Sisters Unfiltered. We're back. I was just telling Lindsay that it's funny because we record these for all of our YouTube friends, and I always wear the same thing because it's like my uniform, which I think we talk about at some point.
It might have been the first episode.
It was. Yeah. The first episode of the second season. So anyway, but here I am again in my black tank top in jeans, which is my uniform.
It's okay because we actually don't have a lot of YouTube watchers.
Okay, there we go. So, let's get some more.
I know, we need some more YouTube watchers. We don't have a lot. And so a lot more people just listen, but that's us too.
Yeah.
When do you watch? I don't watch a podcast.
Never. The only time I get on YouTube is to go to YouTube TV.
Oh, it's true.
I do not watch YouTube. I understand that I'm in my mid-40s and that's not as common as just listening. I listen to a lot of podcasts, like multiple during the week.
Can promise you I've never thought, let me get on YouTube and watch a podcast.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I wouldn't even know that podcasts you can watch them.
Yeah.
Because I just listen on Spotify. So
me too.
Anyway,
Spotify fan.
If you really like to watch, thumbs up.
Yeah. Thumbs up, like, comment, share, whatever you can do. Yeah, it helps us a lot and hopefully helps other people listen to our podcast.
Yes.
But we're excited to be back today around the kitchen counter.
Yeah, kitchen counter conversations. That's what we're doing. My Dr. Pepper Zero.
It's just, keeping it real. So today's conversation is going to be a little bit different. It's, I don't know the word, more tender, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like deeply human. And we're going to be talking just about grief and loss and the journey of living with losing a parent.
Yeah.
Lindsay and I were actually just at this kind of book study that we do with a bunch of moms in all different ages and everything. And I thought that was interesting that today it kind of came up quite a bit about aging parents, about losing parents. Yeah. And then we also had this podcast planned. It was
very strange timing.
Yes.
And then I was like, should I say something? But I'm like, no, that's really awkward to promote your podcast here. And so I'm not going to be like, it's interesting you talk about this, about your dad passing away, but we are about to do a podcast about this when we are not experts at all. Yes. So there's that. But more so just the road that we've walked. Yeah. So, and we really haven't, everyone who has listened to this consistently knows us in, real life. Knows what we've walked through, but we've never really put it out.
Yeah, I think we just had one episode that we've talked about it. And we're just gonna, the conversation isn't necessarily about having like all the right answers. It's really just kind of holding space for something that's just a reality in life.
Yeah,
is that you're gonna lose people, that you're close to. And for us, it was our mom, and the anniversary of that was just a few days ago. Yeah. And it's been 4 years. Mm-hmm. I mean, does it seem like yesterday or does it seem like forever ago for you?
I mean, it's like one of those moments that it seems like yesterday and it seems like forever ago. It seems like both, but it doesn't seem like that long ago that mom was here. So that's kind of weird, know? But like, and we'll talk about this more, but the time period of leading up to her passing away seems like, it seemed like it was so many years, but it was only in weeks. Right? Yeah. Like that felt like that took years off my life.
Yes.
But it was only like a matter of weeks, which, gosh, I'm so grateful that it was only a matter of weeks because people who go through that for years, I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
So, I am forever grateful that was not a long, drawn-out thing.
Yeah. So hopefully this is, for people who have experienced loss of a parent, it's like, hey, we've gone through the same thing, and you can kind of feel less alone in it. Mm-hmm. And then for those who haven't, maybe it'll bring a deeper sense of empathy for other people who are going through loss. Because I think it really doesn't depend on your age. I was going to say depending on your age, but honestly, like, loss happens.
Yeah.
People lose people that they're close to, and it's kind of one of those subjects that's hard to talk about, but I think it's good to talk about. It's healthy. Mm-hmm. I think everyone has a different experience, so our experience is not going to be just like someone else's. Yeah. That's kind of some things that we've learned, some moments that, we saw God during that time, and, all those kind of things. So we're just gonna
and just, like you said, like, one thing that's interesting and that I have to work on just in my personality in itself is understanding that everybody handles things differently.
Yes.
And I have to have a lot of grace for that. And so, like, the way that I handled grief or Ashley handled grief might not be the same way that you handle grief, and that's okay. It's totally okay. I do think personalities play a part in that. I do think there's some nuggets in here that I hope we can give to encourage people.
And people helped us.
Going through it. That's right.
We had not experienced before.
Yes. And also some things our parents actually taught us about grief, in my opinion, growing up, that really helped walk through that process. So I'm just putting that out there, that if you've handled it differently than us, which you probably have, that is A-okay.
Yes.
Everything is a learning curve. There's things that I look back on it and I would never do again. During a time of grief, and there's things I look back and I'm so grateful for handling it certain ways.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off with a question that, if our listeners have listened to us enough, I think they know what an important role and person our mom was in our life.
Yeah.
But how did your relationship with her shape who you are today?
I mean, huge, right? I mean, mom and dad, huge. And mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she was active in our life all the time. We are not a super physically affectionate family, but I never felt like I lacked in that area, so when I say that, just know it wasn't anything bad or negative in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we were just mom and dad, super intentional with us, and teaching us the Word of God, leading by example in their quiet time with the Lord. And if you've listened to our podcast at all, you know how important our parents have been in our walk with the Lord. Yeah. The things that mom walked through with her family and really changed the trajectory of our family. And so just huge in our walk with our relationship with the Lord, with our relationship with our spouse, with our relationship with other friends. Mom poured into not just us, but everyone around her.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think so, too, it's interesting, mom was my mom up until, of course, I got married when I was almost 20, you got married young, and always close with her. I would never look back and be like, oh, I wasn't close to my mom. But the closest of really getting to know her as a fellow mom, me being a mom, her being a mom, being married, her being married, was really in adulthood, I think, where you start to see things a little bit differently.
For sure.
And appreciate so much of how she was as a mom, as a wife, how impactful that was on us and just the people around her. And then also I didn't really think about growing up, talking to my mom every day, whatever. As I got an adult, I talked to mom every day. Yeah. Can you remember, did you talk to her every day?
Every day, multiple times a day. I talked to her a lot, a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So, about everything. I am and I've said it before on this podcast, I am the classic meme that's why did you not answer the phone, Mom? I wanted to tell you I ate chicken nuggets for lunch.
Yes, exactly.
And literally I called her about everything.
Yes.
So, and she always made herself available for our phone conversations. Yes. Or, I actually did not live by mom all her adulthood. I always did. Yeah. So recently I was talking to somebody about maybe your parents coming in town when you have a baby. Yeah. Well, I was lived by them. Yes. So I never had that experience of my parents coming down because they were always here. Yeah. So you even saw mom in a different way because of that.
Yeah.
She would
come. So we talked on the phone a lot, but then also we didn't live by them for 9 years. But so cool. I mean, so appreciate this. We saw mom and dad every 6 weeks. Yeah. I think. And that was them coming to see us, or I would go, or I would just take the kids to see them. And so just the most important probably human relationship I had was with my mom. And I'm close to my dad too, but a little bit different, right? My dad would work and, we talk to mom on the phone and hang out with her. And when she would come at weeks at a time and spend time with the kids.
Because you lived 12 hours for mom.
Yes,
so it was not like it was close.
Yes. So just so close, right?
And mom would come by herself and she would come with dad or whatever, to visit you. So just
So I think that we could tell her story a little bit, but if you would have told me you're gonna lose your mom when she's 65, I would have been no way.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
I mean, my mom had some like medical things.
Yeah.
Even early on, it never crossed my mind. I don't know if I just like wouldn't go there, even thinking about her not being around.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever think about that?
Yes, I did. When she first got diagnosed with breast cancer, I did. I was like, oh. No, I mean,
I probably just shoved it down.
I didn't think that she was gonna die. Like, I mean,
like when she got
the
diagnosed
original,
the first time.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do that. You know, like so. But then, as she got better and went through everything, I was in remission. Like, I didn't obviously think
so real
about
quick,
it.
just like give them, because I do want to talk about like loss and that sort of thing, but give them like a synopsis of like what happened with mom.
Yeah. So mom got diagnosed with breast cancer when I'd already had Parker.
Okay.
He was a baby.
Yeah.
So it was
Gray Parker babies.
Gray Parker babies. So very, very little.
Yeah.
And so that's what Parker's 18.
Yeah.
So
18
probably
years
18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went through, and I will tell you, like, I believe in the name of Jesus. I'm never gonna have breast cancer or any cancer. But I will say this: I do not miss my annual visit to my OBGYN. I do not miss my mammograms because she almost didn't go to her OBGYN visit when they found the breast cancer. So I'm so grateful that she went. And then she went through chemo. We all moved to Austin during that time, which was hard because everything with chemo was very hard for her. And then she went into remission, and for 10 years, she was great. We all thought she was great. She thought she was great. And then 10 years later, she had some back pain and went to a chiropractor actually and got a scan done, and that's when they found cancer had gone from being breast cancer to being in her bones, which it's still considered breast cancer when it metastasizes like that. But once it goes out of the area, it is now turned into stage 4 cancer. Yeah. So we did find out that she was misdiagnosed with the wrong type of breast cancer. So I do think that might would have changed the trajectory of the way things went. But you know what? That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's another part of it that we've all had to kind of sort through,
yeah.
You know, and think like, oh, if she wasn't misdiagnosed with the type of breast cancer that she had,
for
she'd still be here. And honestly, like,
you just can't
sit in that.
No, you can't, because you could create anger and bitterness and all kinds of stuff, and really it doesn't really matter at this point. It is what it is.
That's right.
So she found out.
There was like a 10 years
before she was fine.
I never even thought about anything except she would like go for her checkup or whatever. Oh great, we're all clear for 10 years. Right? So we thought like done, she had breast cancer, we're good.
I think the type of breast cancer that she has, I think you had to be past your 5-year mark, and then you're pretty, like, your chances of it returning is like
very
less than 10%.
Yes.
So anyway, so it returned, we found out, and then she had it for 5 years and was pretty good, I would say, for 5 years, but I think there's a lot mom didn't tell us.
Yeah.
You know, how she felt. And then 5 years. And honestly, once it got into her liver, it's just kind of, she went downhill pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, and not a lot of people knew, to be honest. And she wanted to keep it that way.
Yeah. So she, got diagnosed again with breast cancer 10 years after her original. Yeah. That was a really tough time. Like, chemo radiation was awful. She hated it. She was like, if I had to go through that again, I would not. She would say
from the
original. So then she gets diagnosed again. When she goes to the chiropractor, they see spots like on her spine, hip bones, that kind of thing. She gets into MD Anderson. God worked just such a miracle to get her in, quickly,
which was crazy.
Yes, and then for about 4 years, honestly, they managed it. Even though it was, they did stage 4, they'll never say you're cancer free once it gets to that point. Yeah. But it was managed. Mom still played tennis. We still had all of our family functions. Yeah. I didn't think about it that much. Besides when they would go for scans.
Yeah.
And that's different than how her and dad were, of course, because they were carrying that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But for us, it was normal.
Yeah,
it was 4 years.
For sure. And the tumors that were on her spine were healing.
Yeah, shrinking.
Even actually, when she passed away, her oncologist was surprised.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that, according to the scans, it looked maybe like it was getting like that. I don't think they were surprised. And the Lord did a lot during that time. Even in her body. There were spots they found on her brain, and then they went in and it wasn't anything. Like he did a lot of healing, I think, during that time. So
but I think in those 4 years it was very hard on her mentally.
Yes.
And my dad.
Yes.
And probably more than they ever shared with us. Now that we're on the other side, we kind of have talked with my dad a little bit about that.
I think they were standing in faith and believing, and I think that her body was reacting differently, and I think that was just a daily reminder of what was going on, and just the enemy used that, which by all means, I can't even imagine, on the daily to really stress her out about what was going on.
Yeah. So fast forward, those 4 years, all like kind of normal.
Yeah.
And then she just started like not feeling as good, weaker. She started retaining a lot of water.
Yeah.
That was kind of a whole thing, and still we just all were like, Mom, you're gonna get through this. We're gonna fight through this. It's gonna be. I think I have a tendency, different personalities, right, to kind of push it away and be like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. Mom's gonna be fine, even though that's just not a great sign. Of what's happening. And now we know that. Did not know that. And let's say this. I had no one close to me ever has passed away. No. So I honestly, of course, we've had people we know pass away, but like no one.
Not that you walk that closely.
Super close.
No one you walk that journey with.
No.
So you don't really know what someone's body does.
Yeah.
What's a sign for, probably passing away soon.
Yeah.
There's a lot you just don't know. And to be honest, if you don't know, don't look it up. It's just better not to. Especially if you're believing for healing, which I believe the Lord still does miracles. I believe He heals. I believe that He can still heal someone even if they have every sign of death in their body. God can still turn it around. So it's almost better for you not to know, because to be honest, it hasn't changed my belief in the Lord at all. But when I hear of people that know people that have gotten to the point where Mom did, automatically I'm like, ooh, that's not good. Yeah. And I don't want to do that for people. Yeah. I want to know and believe that it doesn't matter what you're seeing, that God can still turn that around. Yes. And He has, and He does that for people. Yes. So anyways, just to tell you, don't look it up.
And so my mom was just got to that point, and then we all went on vacation. We do a yearly vacation. We've talked about this before many times. We go on vacation, and that is when Mom first told me that the doctors told her that they can't do anything else. Yeah. And that was tough. That was a tough week.
I knew it was bad because Mom was, so when she started retaining fluid in her stomach was in about May-ish. And then I noticed it because her stomach looked a little pregnant. And I was like, something is not right. Yeah. And then they kind of went to some doctor's appointments and were trying to figure some things out. And then by the time we were going to the beach, she was laying on her back porch a lot. Like they have a covered porch, and she would go out there and pray, and she would lay out there a lot, and I knew it wasn't great. Yeah. And even getting her to the beach was interesting. My dad had to fly her, had to use a wheelchair, and we knew. Yeah. She wasn't looking good. Yeah. And at this point, she was already going through chemo, right?
Yes.
So they had actually not done, Mom took oral chemo once the cancer returned, which was fine. Mm-hmm. It caused some like aching in her joints, but it was not a hair falling out.
Not like what she had gone through before she was so sick.
No, it wasn't that. And the last resort, they tried chemo again, which Dad regrets doing. And I tell Dad, that wasn't your decision, that was Mom's decision. Like you couldn't have done anything. No. She was going to fight. It didn't matter. Yeah. And so I just think he regrets it because it changed her look so much and it didn't really help her. Mm-hmm. And so they tried chemo. So at this point when she came, which had her hair, or was that before or after that?
No, she still had her hair because I remember when I went over to.
So they were still doing it.
They were in process.
They were in the process.
They kind of had just started.
They were in the process. Yeah. So that was the last resort. Yeah. So that was at the beach. I have a picture of Mom. We went and picked them up from the airport, and just her coloring was off, and She was weak.
Yeah, and that whole week was tough. That's when we all knew, and all of our kids knew that there was probably nothing else the doctors could do. But in God's just like total just amazingness, I don't know the other word to say.
Yeah.
We got to spend some time with her.
Yeah.
COVID had just happened like a year before, maybe.
Yeah.
And we spent so much time with mom and dad during COVID, all of us.
It was crazy.
That I just think it was like, this was coming. God knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And he gave us this gift when COVID was not fun for anyone.
No.
Yet when I look back at that, I'm like, God gave us a gift during COVID with mom.
Mm-hmm. The whole world shut down and quit getting with each other, and we all got together more.
Yes, that's right.
And
because we couldn't get together with anyone else.
We couldn't get over with anybody else. If you know from our podcast, we did not grow up in a very scared, I don't know if I would say that, but fearful of any type of fear family. And so mom, who should have been the most susceptible to COVID.
And we were kind of waiting to see, in some ways, like, how is mom going to be? Like, is her doctor going to tell her that she can't be around us?
Did we need to get the vaccine? Like, what does this look like? Yeah. And so we got together so much. We had church every week, every Sunday. Yes. We would either have it at my house or at mom and dad's.
Yes.
Tyler would lead worship because he was in town from college. Yes. Obviously, he couldn't go back. Mm-hmm. So he would lead worship, and we would just have different nephews preach.
Yeah.
It's the first time Lawson ever preached a sermon. Yeah. Who was a great communicator. And we just had this special time. So 2020, so weird, Labor Day weekend of 2020, Derek and I took the kids to Colorado, and mom and dad came with us, and we had a weekend, like a long weekend with them, and we did all kinds of things together. We traveled together. It was
just like the goodness of God.
It was the goodness of God.
Honestly.
Absolutely. It made no sense. It was like, for sure, I don't believe that God brings anything terrible into earth or people, but I do feel like God turned a really bad situation of COVID, which could have actually, had we not come together, could have been, I would have regretted 2020 like nobody's business had someone told me that mom was going to die, and had we chosen not to be together.
Yeah, I agree.
I would have regretted it so bad. Yes. And so I am very grateful that we did not do that and we came closer together.
Yeah.
So
just like thinking about that leading up, right? It's so interesting how when someone passes away, you can look back on it and kind of see just God's thread, through it, his goodness, through it, and how you're like, God really did little miracles all along the way, even leading up to this.
Yes.
Only God can do something like that.
You can't look back at that and think it was coincidence and think it was by chance or luck.
Right.
Only God would have had those moments. 2020, and then mom went to the beach in 2021 when she was so sick because she said the Lord told her to go, which she knew. I know she knew. Yeah. She knew she was on her, even though she was believing. Yeah. And probably wouldn't want to say or speak that, but she knew that, I think. But I do believe the Lord told her to go, because that was the last time we would have with her on a vacation, and we had a lot. She was too weak to go do anything, so she would read on this porch upstairs in this beach house, and we would just all go hang out with her.
Yeah, there were a couple other things leading up to that, and we'll get to when she passed away, but we spent that week together as a family, as we always did, the kids and everything, and it's good because like grief kind of started there. Yeah. Not like just being so sad that we knew that the doctor couldn't do anything else.
Yes, but we were still believing.
Absolutely, but we started this train of grief almost not knowing.
That was when we actually, mom was so big about people believing for her healing that knew about her. So she kept her circle small. Yeah. I am actually a believer of that. I think if you're going to be believing in something that maybe goes against what the world says, your circle can only be people who are going to believe in agreement with you. So that beach trip was when she let us start calling people.
Yes.
And telling people.
Yes.
That was the start.
Yes.
We were allowed to let people know you might want to come and see mom.
Yeah. Also, two other things I just want to mention leading up to that One was we had gotten for Christmas, our parents, these Storyworth books. Mm-hmm. Lindsay's idea. We went in together, got it for them. And so it emails them a question, if you guys don't know what it is. Emails them a question every week, just about their life, about all kinds of stuff, and they answer it. And Mom and Dad did their Storyworth. And we both have books. Like,
all of us have
this
books.
Was the Christmas before, right?
This was 2020.
Yes.
January 2021 was right after December 2020.
Yes.
And I got the idea from my cousin because they had done it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is like Mom was not a huge sentimental person.
No.
She was a professional organizer. We don't attach to anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like at all. So like getting something sentimental for Mom to do, but the older she got
more sentimental.
She got more sentimental. She also got more sentimental around her mom passing away. And so I think that changed for her. And so getting these books was a little bit not against, but like opposite of maybe what her personality was up until that point. Yeah. So it was a God thing.
It was a God thing. And like honestly, if my house caught on fire right now, I would grab my kids' baby books or pictures and my mom and dad's Storyworth books. Yeah. Because that's how like much of a treasure it is.
And how much I've gone back to these books. So what's cool about these books, shout out Storyworth.
Yeah.
This is a plug. They do not sponsor us, but go look up Storyworth.
Yes.
And the coolest thing about them is like, one, they will generate questions for you, or you can do your own questions. Yeah. So like me, Wade, and Ashley all had access to this.
Yes.
And we could go in and write our own questions on the weekly for Mom and Dad. And then they would on the weekly fill it out over email. And then once they answer them, it sends the answers to us. And then at the end of the year, it puts it in a book. Right. And then you can print it out. And guys, Sam has got married. Tyler and Sammy got married. Yeah. And one of the questions to Mom is like what is three, or what's your best advice for a long, healthy marriage?
Right.
And like, so we have like this theme from her. Yes. Or like, what was your most prized possession? What is your favorite vacation? Like all this stuff that we can go back to and really like value and like cherish what she said because, can't phone into heaven.
Right. Right. Yeah. So that was a really God.
That was a God.
Thing.
It is so true.
And the other thing is that our brother Wade, Lindsay and I both stay-at-home moms. I think I was working like part-time at the time. Went on a sabbatical.
Yes.
Remember?
That is so
and
weird.
And it did not have anything to do with Mom
and her health.
Because it was before that.
Uh-huh.
And so when I tell you from the beach to the time she passed away was about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Wade was off work.
I know. That's so crazy.
Kimberly, his wife, Wade, Lindsay and I, probably every day we were and my dad obviously was there. We were at their house.
Which also was a God thing. Because Dad was doing things at Square Cow, like he was like over finance stuff, and he had actually passed that off, and I don't know when. I don't think it was as close as to was Wade. So Dad had time to be home or to take Mom to doctor's appointments.
Yes.
So we were there every day.
Yeah, every day. Yeah. And so just those things that you look back on and you're like, God, you're just so good. Mm-hmm. Even in such a terrible time.
Yeah.
God is just so good, for those things to happen and to talk about, So for those 6 weeks, we spent a ton of time.
Oh my goodness.
At their house.
We were.
Hospice came in.
When did we bring hospice? It was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't very.
We did not bring, hospice in until 2 weeks before Mom actually passed away, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. And we could go into so many details and talk about so many things. And I'll be honest, like there were sad times, there were some happy times. There was some laughing at her house, sitting by her bed, there was some bonding, something like that bonds you even closer with your siblings and your parents and your in-law. I mean, just all of us, Sure. There was just something about it.
I think that the Lord was just present.
Yeah.
Like he was just present.
Yes.
And so something that I think that what we do so often in life is we look back at negative things like death and things, and we're looking at them through the wrong lens. Yeah. We're looking at them through a worldly lens. And I think that we have to learn to look at them through a godly lens and like a spiritual lens. if you look back at hard times in your life and you can't see any goodness, you're not looking through the right lens.
Right. Yes.
You're just not, because God, I don't care if you're a Christian, I don't care, like, God is there.
Yeah.
He's always there. He's walking with you every step of the way. And so to be able to look back, and our mom, she would have wanted happy times.
Oh, absolutely.
She was like that. That was how she was, you know? And so, anyways, yes. And so there was, we laughed, and even she laughed, and we joked, and
yes, we were making her, even though she ate, she wasn't eating a ton, but we would run and get her whatever she wanted. It was just, there were times during that I think back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's just again, God's goodness was all over it, you know, and it made our family stronger.
Yeah.
But I remember, and you probably have a moment like this too, and I just wanted to share it, but probably the day before Mom passed away, or 2 days, I can't remember, she was just in her bed asleep. She slept a lot during that time. And I was just sitting there. Nobody else was there for some reason. Sometimes, you know, they would have to pick up kids and that kind of thing. There was somebody always there all the time.
But we would just
I just remember sitting there and she was asleep, and I was like, God, I know that you can heal. I know that you can do whatever you want, that you can heal. But if you're not going to heal Mom on earth for some reason, fully heal her. Yeah. I want her to go to heaven. Yeah. It's time for her to go. Mm-hmm. And I just had never been to that point, but that's how I felt, because my mom was just like this strong woman. I don't know, independent, charismatic,
could do anything on her own. She had a drill that she could drill build things.
Just like made things. She's the one on the Enneagram, so they like see things and they make things just perfect. Yeah, you know, because that's how they see things. And I just knew that this cancer, what was going on with her, she would not have wanted.
No, she wouldn't.
Because it unfortunately steals your dignity and your energy and all of those things. Yeah. And I remember praying that, and I just felt peace in it. And Mom passed away like 2 days later. Yeah. Or a day later. I don't even know. It was very close to the time she passed away. But did you have any moments like that you can remember?
I mean, I actually kind of felt...
And I did not want her to go to heaven, like, selfishly.
Yeah, you wanted her to stay here.
It was one of those things.
You know, Mom and Dad and I hope all of us are, but we're such strong faith believers, and they believe that God heals on this earth. And there are people out there who do not believe that. And so Mom believed in fall spiritually until she died. Yeah. And so it was like this hard thing of like, we are believing for her healing, but this is no way to live. Right? And you're walking this line of like, we're going to believe in the name of Jesus. But at the same time, like, so I had already felt like that a little bit, and I never said that, but like anytime Mom would get scans, and she was so anxious about it, which you probably wouldn't know it being around her, but if you would talk to her, you can tell. Mom would just get distracted. Or
it's like she couldn't concentrate.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, this is no way to live. Yeah. And so of course I never wanted Mom to, I always just said, God, you got to take this totally away. Like, right? And so, but I never had a moment like that, but I agreed with you. I think you told me that, and I was like 100%. Like, this is not Mom. So unless she's going to get fully healed on earth, healed in heaven. Yeah. Which, you know, people take that sometimes, and that's what they speak over you. Oh, I'm believing that God's going to heal you, whether it's on earth or in heaven. And Mom was always like, no. We are believing I'm healed on earth. And that's what we believed until we crossed the bridge when it didn't happen. And that's what I would hope anybody would believe. And that is a conversation I had with Mom before she died.
Well, it's like, do you believe that God can heal up to the moment the person is in heaven? He can.
That's right. We're not going to believe anything else. Right. And so, and that's a conversation I had with Mom, because I think that worried her for her grandkids, that if she passed away, that they wouldn't believe in healing. Yeah.
I know. It's hard. Yeah.
It was just a super hard conversation.
Yeah. And I think Dad stepped in after Mom died, and could explain that to the grandkids.
Yeah.
You know, and he did a great job of navigating through grief and believing for Mom's healing, and yet knowing that she was healed in heaven, and how we don't have to doubt that God can do something like that. You know, and there are some things we just will never know.
Yeah,
we might not ever know. We might not know until we're in heaven. We just don't know.
Yeah. But she just wanted her grandkids to know, like, God heals.
Yeah.
And that is what we will believe no matter what.
Yeah.
And I do. I still believe that. And but it was just a hard conversation that day. Yeah. That was at the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely. So she passed away on September 13th in the morning. Yeah. And again, there are a lot of God things in that. We won't go into all of it. But you know, she waited until Jeremy got there.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't get a hold of him, and because it was early in the morning.
Yeah.
I think he was asleep. I'd already.
It was like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. And it was like she kind of held on.
But it was longer. It was shorter than what hospice thought.
Yeah. Oh,
and so that was what happened.
Nobody thought. No, we were told she would.
It would be a couple weeks.
Yes, a couple weeks. Yeah. And it was not. It was more like a couple days.
Yeah.
And so we were all there, and we were trying to get hold of Jeremy that morning, and when he got there, like really within seconds, she took her last breath.
Mom sure did show some favoritism in that. No, Mom never showed favoritism, but there was funny parts throughout her last few weeks where we would be like, well, clearly Derek is your favorite. Or why was it always the in-laws?
Yes, or Kimberly.
It was Kimberly, Derek, and Jeremy.
I always tell the story. I'd be like, and also just shout out to our sister-in-law Kimberly, who
oh my gosh, she was amazing.
Just showed up.
The Enneagram 2 came out like nobody's business.
Yeah, and was amazing. And I would be like, Mom, I'd be like sitting with her. I'm like, Mom, are you hungry? Do you want me to get you something? She's like, no, I'm fine. Yeah. And she'd be like, Kimberly. And Kimberly came over and she'll like, can you give me some yogurt? And I'll be like, I'm right here. Like, I just asked you if you wanted anything.
She would be like, Derek, you were such an angel.
Yes.
I was like, first of all, you never talk that way. Second of all, what about me?
Right. Exactly.
She like loved Derek.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, but she did. She waited until Jeremy was like to take her last breath. She needed Jeremy there.
Yeah. But so Mom passes away, we're all there. And I love this, like, I love this because of the people we have around us. But how did people around us respond, and what helped? What was the response of like, I still can't get over this.
Yeah.
Of the people after Mom passed away.
I mean, it was insane. Like first of all, how quickly people stepped in. It was like, I think we had dinner like that night or something.
Oh, I think we had lunch that day.
It was so waiting. Talk about being in community, church community.
That's why I love this. That's why I wanted to ask this question.
Yeah. Like church community really, really stepped up.
Yeah.
And so like Wade and Kimberly's small group was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, they were dropping off, and guys, we're not 5 people. We're 20. And it was so much food that was needed, and we never expected any of this, but literally...
you're not even in a space where you can think about it.
No, you're
right?
Not.
Like,
no.
I wasn't even in a
that
space.
Day that Mom died, because it was like 4 a.m, we had breakfast tacos on our front porch.
Yeah.
Dropped off by Kimberly Wade's small group.
Yes.
And I think they couldn't even find enough for everybody, so they went to like different places and dropped off like bags of breakfast tacos.
Yes.
Like, we had, I don't remember who was it. Was it Kimberly Wade's friend Sharon and her husband?
Maybe.
And they dropped off like massive things of like Jason Deli.
Oh, that was their small group.
Yeah. I mean, food amongst food, like so much food.
Yeah.
And like, we planned Mom's service.
Yes. So kind of crazy. Mom died on like a Monday, I think, a Monday morning. Mm-hmm. We had her celebration of life in Austin on a Wednesday, like 2 days later.
2 days later.
And then on Friday in Birmingham, Alabama. I know, it's crazy, but we just go into go mode, okay?
Yeah.
But not just us. There's no way we could have done that on our own. The amount of people that stepped up and stepped in to make that happen, helping. What can we do? How can we help? I was like, I need to be a better human. Because these people around us,
I know.
I honestly can't get over the response of people when Mom passed, just loving on our family. I got cards and flowers and gifts and just the thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
And I was overwhelmed by it, to be honest. Yeah.
It was crazy. It was, guys, we had a funeral here, which we called it Celebration of Life. 300 people came in Austin. It was beautiful. The church, is where Kimberly went to church, put it on. It was absolutely stunning. It was, Mom would have loved it. The flowers and just everything. And like, we didn't have to think about anything but what we were going to do with the actual Celebration of Life. Like, it was completely taken care of. This church, it was amazing. Yeah. And then the church in Birmingham, which is where we grew up, was amazing. And then not only that, but the meals after we got back, our church at the time that we went to had provided like a meal for our family, a meal for your family, and a meal for Dad.
Yes.
Like they were, I think that
we actually had so many meals like that where there was so much food. We would just all come together.
We would all come together at Dad's house.
Weeks,
yes,
honestly.
At Mom and Dad's house. Yeah.
My tennis team and Mom, we played on the same tennis team. Just what they did. Even my kids' friends, families, like just
stepped up.
Were so amazing.
Yeah.
You know, dropping things off for my kids or for us, and it meant so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is important stuff. This is the stuff you show up for.
Yeah.
This is the way that you show God's love to people, the way that you show them support. And, you know, I think like some people are like, oh, you know, during the grieving process, people will say stuff that doesn't help or whatever. And I'm sure that's true. We honestly just, I can't say that was true of anyone that I can remember.
No. It was crazy.
In our process.
Yeah, it was insane. No.
You know?
With the support we had and the help we had and our family's so big, and it wasn't just towards Dad, it was towards all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that our dentist gave towards the scholarship fund.
Yes.
Like, and our dentist, not Mom's dentist, our dentist, our kids' dentist. Like, it was just, it's stuff like that you know, there's things that like you being one person don't realize the impact it makes, but then after you go through it on the other end and you talk about, like, we would sit as a family and talk about the people that came in from like Dallas to go to the funeral, like Mom's Celebration of Life, or people that signed the book that we didn't even know went. We didn't see them because there were so many people. Like, it's just, that stuff means so much more than you actually can comprehend. Even if you only get to see, if you're going to something like that and you only get to see the person for 5 minutes, they'll never forget.
No, you don't.
They will never forget who was at, that you came to that funeral or Celebration of Life, or that you brought a meal, or that no one forgets that.
And I think like Mom, both of her celebrations of life, there was, you know, kind of the same, but in different places. The churches and the people and everything just stepped up. She would have loved it.
Oh, she would have loved it.
She would have loved it. It was so her. It was excellent. It was beautiful. It was meaningful.
Yeah.
And I was so proud walking away that I feel like we got to honor her in that way. Yeah. And again, none of that would have happened if it wouldn't have been just the people that rallied around us to help make it happen.
For sure.
Absolutely. You know?
It was so fun because the one in Alabama, the Celebration in Alabama, after Mom's funeral or whatever, we a lot of people gathered at the hotel we were at because Alabama was playing football, and we all gathered and we they brought food and it was like who we grew up with and pastors and different people, and they brought food and we hung out in the lobby of the hotel we were at. It had so much fun, and I believe that yes, those people are absolutely amazing. And some of those people we have done nothing for.
Yes.
But, meaning before that. But I also believe some of that is because Mom and Dad have done a lot for people. Yeah. And I think if you do for people, I think, and have conversations, relationships, and give, I think people are wanting to show up.
Yes, I agree.
You know?
I was thinking that same thing. And I was thinking also how cool it was that we learned a lot. I think maybe when it's you don't feel like in your life that you have the impact that you want to have.
Yeah.
Mom loved Jesus so much. And she wanted to impact people for Jesus, and oh boy, did she. But I'm not sure she knew. the impact that she had.
We didn't
until
know.
after. That's what I'm saying.
I had no, like, I knew that mom and dad had made an impact for sure. But I didn't even know that mom was still like mentoring people up until like 2 weeks before she passed away.
Yes. Because they're probably like, is she okay?
2 weeks until she passed away, mom was still mentoring people. Like, I was like, wait, what? I didn't even know she mentored anybody. Or whatever. You know,
but I mean, the amount of like text messages, like from years ago, or just like people sending, and that's another thing, like even if you can't give a gift, if you can't do food, if you're not close to that, just the words that people said and sent and like shared a memory or a thought or how she impacted, like that was also so meaningful.
It was. I still have
and that doesn't. I have.
Tell me this now. I will never forget your mom.
Yeah.
Told me this and all this stuff, and it was just, I don't know. It was just crazy. It's just mind blowing.
Yeah, and she made such an impact.
She did.
You know, which was so cool. I hate that she didn't get to see that in a way, but how cool is it that we got to see it, that our kids got to see it, that they got to hear it, and just that was so awesome.
It was.
So we have about 2 celebrations of life. We come back, and can you remember like what did grief look like in those like weeks and months that followed?
You know, one thing we haven't talked about was it the day mom passed away that morning? We were all supposed to go to mom and dad's house that night.
Yes.
Anyways.
I think it's Tyler was coming in town, right?
Yes.
And we were like, because she told me to make
there?
peach cobbler. Tyler was not there.
No, he wasn't there. Okay. So Tyler's coming in town, so we were already going to, so here's one thing. Mom at that point was not opening her eyes, and she was not talking much, but she was conversing with us.
Oh yeah, she was with it.
There was
nothing.
No, so like the night before she passed away, she was telling Ashley how to make peach cobbler, and she's in her hospital bed at this point, but she is telling Ashley where the things are and how to make it, all like as if Ashley did not make
there's
it.
like 4 ingredients.
Yes, okay.
But
Ashley
she
knew how to
did
make
not
her
trust
peach cobbler
me whatsoever.
No, she did not. So she was very with it. Mom was not on any type of pain medicine, which also major, huge God thing. Yeah. She was not in a lot of pain at all. Hospice was shocked she wasn't on morphine and pain medicine. And so she was with it until that morning. So, so I will say that the morning she passed away, we were already supposed to get together that night. So, and Tyler was going to lead worship. So at the house. So we did. Yeah. And that was a very hard evening.
That was.
But
very raw,
very raw. Yeah, and he still led worship, and we sang and worshiped the Lord because we knew that's what Mom would have done.
Yes.
And so, anyways, that pivotal moment was Dad said. Yes. That's when Dad said, and this actually, I believe, could have possibly changed the trajectory we all went with grief.
I feel like it set a tone.
It did
for how we were going to handle grief.
Yes.
From
moving forward.
Yeah.
And he just said. He said, all right, everybody, like we were all kind of in a circle in their house. And he said, here's the deal. He said, it's okay to mourn and grieve over Mom and I. And he said, but we are not going to sit down in it. And we're not going to get depressed. And we're not going to plop down in this because that is exactly what the enemy would want from us. And Mom and I would never be okay with that. Yeah. We're not sitting in it. Yes. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's so true. And I think we all knew that, but for Dad, who his wife just passed away, to say that was just such a strong moment. And so I think that set the tone. Yeah, it did. Honestly, it did set the tone. Yeah. And so anyways, just saying that moving forward into how did we all handle grief. Yeah. You know, how do you feel like you handled it? Man, I mean, I was so sad. Yeah, for sure. And I miss Mom like crazy, but I think because Dad set the tone, and I just have to believe just having this relationship with the Lord. It was interesting. I got out my journal that I had during the time that Mom was sick up until when she passed away, and all through like probably months before that, I feel like the Lord, again, it's one of those things where you can look back and you're like, okay, I get it. You know, had me in Joshua, and it was like. Everything in Joshua was like, be strong and courageous, be strong and courageous, be strong and courageous. Again, this was kind of a little bit before she actually got really sick and we knew that she probably wasn't going to make it. And I think God was just preparing me. Yeah. Yeah. So that I could be strong and courageous
once something like that happened, honest to goodness, I wasn't thinking about that as I was reading Joshua and being in it so much. And I kept being kind of weird, like, man, I'm not really, like, I don't know why I feel like I'm supposed to be in Joshua so much. Because he over and over again says in Joshua, be strong, courageous, be strong. Courageous. There are things that look a certain way that you could be scared of or whatever, but be strong and courageous, you know? And I just think that helped me in the grieving process.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and time is a great healer. God's a great healer. Time's a great healer. You know what I mean? Like, God mends our heart and heals us and helps us with loss. But time helps too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think for a while, I could only think about Mom when she was really sick right before she died. And that picture of her. And I was like, Lord, I really don't want that to be the last picture I have of Mom. And I really believe over time, now when I think about Mom, it's the Mom that I know.
Yeah.
You know, like, it isn't those last days.
Yeah.
But can you remember how you
Yeah,
were?
I mean, I think you're so right. I think that what we've always say is that what you're depositing before
something
a hard time, whatever that looks like.
Not knowing it's coming.
But that's why your relationship with the Lord is so important. Your daily relationship with the Lord is so important, because what you're depositing, that's what you're going to get back out.
Yeah.
And so I think that, like, I was in the Word so much. I literally remember one night I held my Bible on my chest and I just in my bed and was like, I'm just leaving my Bible tonight, believing for healing for Mom and believing for peace over us and her and her mind and everything. And so I think when you're in the Word so much like that, when, you know, the time came, I really felt like the Lord was so evident.
Yeah.
And during such a time of death that the enemy wanted so negatively to affect us and people, it did not.
Yeah.
And not only that, her celebration of life, we had people say, like, they felt the Lord there.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the way our family has walked this out has been just a testimony of the Lord, that, like what Dad said, I don't feel like I sat in grief. Did I cry? For sure. Obviously, I still cry about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have moments where it's like, out of nowhere, you just get like this like moment where you're like, gosh, I miss Mom, you know? But one thing that is like huge for me is the gift of heaven.
Right.
And
the hope of
know that we will see Mom again.
Yes.
So I just feel like we are gonna see Mom again. I know we'll see Mom again. And that is actually huge for me. That's really sustained me through her passing.
Yeah. I don't know how people go through that without having that hope of heaven, to be honest.
No, I don't either. I think it would be very hard, because that is one thing that I've really clung to and just been very like, you know, I know I'll see her again one day. And also, the other thing I always think is Mom, given the opportunity to come back, wouldn't.
Oh, I say that to my kids. I've said that to them. I've said that to myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom would come back if we gave her the option.
She wouldn't.
Once you've experienced
the joke's on
like
us.
heaven. Yeah.
It's not on her, it's on us who's living in this world.
I think a couple of things too that helped was, I feel like we do a good job of honoring Mom. At different moments and different times of talking about her continuously. We never went through a time where we didn't talk about her. We still do to this day. I mean, she is interwoven in our family so much.
Dad talks about her so much.
Dad talks about her so much. We talk about her, we honor her. So I think that's like definitely helped.
Yeah.
Kind of get through that grieving process, and kind of like even times when I miss her, you know, like just thinking about the good things, you know. And I think you've talked about it, like, and I don't remember when, but like how you were kind of nervous, like when she would die, that she wasn't there to give you advice.
Yeah.
Right? And then you talk about how she's already given us all the advice that we need. She gave us.
Yeah. She did.
And we still can pull from it.
We can. And what I say is that the same Holy Spirit that she pulled from to get that advice to us, we have access to the same Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And so, and she did. She prepared us. She raised us. She gave us all that we needed.
Yeah.
And that's huge for me, is like, I think you're just like, gosh, you know, she's not here. Like, and then I'm like, no, I have the Holy Spirit that she had.
Yeah.
And the Holy Spirit can speak to me just like she, you know, just like the Holy Spirit speaks to Mom, you know? So, that's huge. And you know, probably my main thing from all of this grief episode for me that I would love to encourage people in is that joy comes in the morning. So like, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve, but it's not okay to stay there.
Yeah.
Because that's when the enemy can creep in. Yeah. And I really want to encourage people and give people permission. If you're going through any grieving right now, that it's okay to be joyful.
Yeah.
It's okay to laugh. It's okay to pull out of that. And it's okay to be sad sometimes.
Yeah.
But where we have to be careful is when we stay there.
Yeah.
And that, I think that people feel as if that is their duty.
That like you're almost not doing it properly.
Yeah,
if you're not doing it
that's right. You're not honoring that person who passed away if you are not depressed and sad and grieving for months and months and months. Yeah. And that is a lie from the world and the enemy to make you think that.
Yes. It doesn't mean that you miss them less.
No.
Or you love them less or anything
or
like
it doesn't
that.
mean you forgot about them.
No. And it also doesn't mean that your feelings aren't validated. I mean, I have times for sure, and it's random. You would think it would be real obvious times. But there are just certain times I'm like, man, I wish my mom was here.
Yeah.
Or I miss my mom or whatever. But I think that's important what you said, that it's not like we stay in that. One, I don't think your loved one would want you to. Yeah. And God doesn't want us to either.
No.
You know? And so, but grieving is an interesting thing. I mean, everyone is different and personalities are different and things hit you differently depending on the impact that person had in your life. But I know that things like being in the Word, we say it's about everything really, because it is the answer to everything.
It is.
Being in the Word.
Yeah.
Worshiping. You know, spending time with the Lord. There's just nothing that can satisfy you like the living water who is Jesus. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. I mean, it just is.
Yeah, because Jesus is God is the only one who knows your actual situation.
Yeah.
He's the only one who knows the intricate relationship you had with that person who passed away. He's the only one who can heal any wounds that need to be healed or fill any void that is there. There's literally nothing else. There's nothing else. There's a husband cannot do that for you, or a wife, or a child, or another person. And that is what you have to be careful with, is there's a void now, regardless if you have a good relationship with that. Because I do think, we've had a friend who her dad died and she didn't have a great relationship with him. Yeah. And she told me, that's different. What I'm going through is different what you went through. And it is.
Yeah.
But literally there will be a void, no matter what. And there's nothing that can fill that void but God.
Yeah.
Because He's the only one who knows all the details and all the intricacies of that.
Yeah. And they call it like supernatural because it is supernatural. You can have peace in the grief. You can have joy in the grief. You can miss someone and still live a life that's full. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, so I think I've learned that too, because in some ways you think like somebody so close to you dying, like how am I ever going to make it through? Yeah. How am I going to get through having another baby? How am I going to get through like my kids going through these stages without my mom there, who is the like single source of who I go to besides the Lord? And you know what? God fills in all those gaps, all those spaces, and we can trust Him that He will. And so I don't know, any other thoughts on? There's so much you can talk about.
I mean,
I feel like we could do a part 2.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like there'd be a part 2 and a part 3 because of, family conversations and just.
And we probably should talk about
We probably should. Our family was just, we had a lot of open communication. Yes. We've been very honest with each other on things.
Because I would love to talk about, even changes. Like,
what does it look like?
What does it look like after that? Because when you have someone that's like really the nurturer of the family, the communicator of the family, the person that's holding it all together, which was Mom.
Yeah.
Now, we still are all really close. Don't get me wrong, but it's taken some work.
It has, because I really believe the enemy would have loved nothing more than to tear our family apart.
Yes.
And I think he could have if we would have not been in relationship with the Lord, prayer, constant open communication. I think there's a lot of things that we could have allowed to separate that. I mean, walking with your dad after he loses his wife of how many years? 48 years. Like, how do you walk that out?
How hard is that when like your dad, who is like the strongest person loses their wife and they're in a vulnerable state and you're the kid, you're hurting too, but you think like, I mean, wow. I would love to talk about dad too, because of just the kind of husband he was during all of this. Like it is such a testimony to just what a husband and man should be.
Yeah.
So I think we do need to continue this conversation in
because like what do holidays look up to? Yes. I mean, there's just a lot of like things.
There are. So anyways, so that's part 1. So I guess we're saying we're coming back for a part 2.
We do need to come back.
But we do have to wrap it up because, well, we got to go get our kids from school. But real quick.
Yeah.
Am I doing the question of the week?
We can do the question of the week real quick.
Okay, real quick. This is a quick episode. Just a quick. Okay, so fall. It's fall.
Yeah.
It's still so hot outside, but it's fall. Are you a pumpkin spice person or not?
I am not a pumpkin spice drinker.
Oh, but you like pumpkin bread?
I like pumpkin bread.
Okay.
But, I mean, you know, who be eating pumpkin bread? Not me very much because I don't need it. But I mean, I like pumpkin spice smells.
Yes, you like fall smells. We talked about that. You get your house ready way before it's even time. Yes. It's not even like cold.
Next week it's gonna be Christmas.
You can lay by the pool, but it smells like
pumpkin.
It's snowing outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm a pumpkin spice person all the way through. I like the drink. I like the pumpkin bread. I like all the stuff. Like I actually can't really have a lot of that stuff in my house because I like it because none of it is actually really good for you.
Yeah.
I start getting pumpkin spice creamer for my coffee like right away.
Yeah.
Like I do like it a lot. So I buy into the pumpkin spice, whole thing.
Yeah.
But
was that your question? Is the pumpkin spice?
Spice.
I'm just like I don't. Oh my gosh! But Trader Joe's right now has this pumpkin bread.
They have everything.
Don't get it.
Okay.
It is so good, and it's by the checkout. And if you bring it home, if you bring it home, put a little bit of butter on it.
You're like, don't get it, but if you do,
don't get it. It is delicious.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well,
thanks, guys.
Thanks. There will be a part 2 at some point. Not sure when. We might have to do a lighter episode, then a part 2. We'll see.
Yeah.
But all right. Thanks, guys. Bye.